Now we're going to go over the different types of phishing attacks. The first type of phishing attack and the most well-known type of phishing attack is an email phishing attack, and it's also known as a deception phishing attack. What this type of attack is, it's an attempt to steal sensitive information via email that appears to come from a legit company or organization. It's not a targeted attack, so it's not directed towards a certain individual. It's more of a mass target attack, so where they're trying to attack as many people as they can, regardless of who they are. In these emails, it usually contains some type of malicious link or some type of malware, and so they're trying to get you to click on the link that can sometimes install the malware automatically, or to download that malware and install it yourself. Now we're going through some of the ways to what to look for in these type of attacks. So the first thing to look for is legitimate information that may be slightly incorrect. So this may be inside of a company email. It may be Facebook with two E's, or in some type of in the greeting there may be spelling that's incorrect. And a lot of legitimate organizations, they go through these second step verifications to make sure that the information is correct. And so seeing that slightly off information is a good sign that it may be some type of phishing attack. The second thing to look for would be shortened links. So this is if you see a bit.il link, that is usually a good way to tell that it may be a potential phishing attack, or it may be like a fce.com and they're saying that it's coming from Facebook. It may be a shortened link that looks similar to Facebook, but that may not necessarily be Facebook. And then the third thing to look for is for fake brand logos. It would be to look for company logos and to see if they match what the company is using currently. It may be a very old logo or a past used one. So looking out for those things are a good telltale sign when looking for a email phishing attack. The next type of phishing attack is a spear phishing attack. A spear phishing attack can be done through email, but what makes a spear phishing attack different than an email phishing attack is a spear phishing attack is specific towards a specific individual, and their goal is solely to steal login credentials. Oftentimes, attackers first gather information about the target, such as name, position, contact details. They get all this information from publicly accessible information, whether it be Facebook, any type of social media, LinkedIn, or it could be the company website. And so we found that around 65% of cyber criminals have leveraged spear phishing emails as their primary attack vector. So this way seems to be the way that attackers are being able to really have success in phishing attacks. Some of the ways to look out for this type of phishing attack would be, again, those shortened links, those bit.il links that you're unsure of. That would be the first thing to look for. Second thing to look for would be a abnormal request. So if the user is asking you to download something or install something that you're not too sure of, that can be a good telltale sign of a spear phishing attack. Share drive links. If someone is sending you to a Google Drive and you're not too sure, if you're not familiar with the person or not sure what's in the drive, clicking on those links or entering your password into password protected documents. In this case, attackers may have you enter in a password to get access to a document. But what they're looking for is to get your password so they can test that same password against all of your different accounts to see which password, which one is which one has that same password been reused on. The next type of phishing attack is a whaling attack. This is similar to spear phishing, but it's even more specific because this is directed towards high-level executives. So this is going to be your CEOs, your COOs, your board, your president. These emails are targeted directly towards them because they sit at such a high seat. Oftentimes, these are more difficult to detect and prevent them than standard phishing practices. And this is because attackers are going to take that time and take that second step in order to kind of do their research to really ensure that this is a well-targeted and focused attack so they can really get the information they need from these high-level executives. And what to look for in these type of attacks, again, are going to be those abnormal requests asking for, can you provide information on this certain company or these type of records? And if these are things you're not normally requested from a certain individual, those can be a good telltale sign of a whaling attack. Also, I'm checking the receipt email. A lot of times companies may send emails that may say, it may be a name at Facebook.com, but it may be Facebook with two E's. And so just taking that second glance at looking at these things are a good telltale sign of knowing when of a possible spear phishing attack. The next type of way to look, the next thing to look for would be a sense of urgency. In these type of attacks, they're trying to get these high-level executives to make decisions very quickly without much thought. And so by doing that, they're able to get all of that information or the information they need in a speedy time. Because if the executive isn't making that double check, they may sometimes pass over the two previous telltale signs. And because of that sense of urgency, they just give out the information. So if there is a sense of urgency, taking those second steps or necessary steps in order to see, to make sure it's not a whaling